Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. It's so good to be here. Thank you so much. And thank you. It was Lynn Jones of the Jones family in Princeton, Kentucky. Thank you for introducing me. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I'll be speaking on fear and what fear will do to you. And as we all know, fear will destroy you. It doesn't matter who you are. Fear will destroy you until you learn or taught how to fight back with fear and overcome fear. So tonight, that's what we'll be speaking on, or I will be. Fear. So if you don't mind, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we come to you today or tonight, thanking you for this great day that you've given us. Father, also tonight I'll be speaking on fear. I'm asking you, Father, to give me the knowledge that I need, that I've gained over the years, to be able to put the words to it, so where I can reach out and give these words to those who are out there right now in need to know how to be able to stand strong against fear and not let fear overcome them. Father, please give me the words to say to your people. Please be with each one of us. Thank you for letting us be here, and also give us safe passage back home. For it's in your name, my Lord Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I say tonight, I'll be speaking on fear. And fear is something that, like I say, will destroy you, your family. It will destroy your employee. It will destroy your business. It will cause so much hate and discontent until you figure out how to get over fear. Fear will cause so much anxiety that you'll become afraid of everything. Fear will cause you to have a sense of danger. Everywhere you go, if you keep fear and carry fear with you and have a fear of different things, then that fear will always be planting that seed of, hey, there's danger right around the corner, Billy. Whoa. Fear. Fear will also make it so where you're unhappy. It will steal your joy. There'll be no happiness. Fear will also cause you to become distraught. You'll become depressed. You'll also get to where things become twisted, out of shape. It'll cause you to misrepresent facts. No longer will anything make any sense because you're so confused, because that's what fear has done to you. It's locked you back into a position when you're backed up against the wall that you don't know a way out. I don't have a way out. How can I get out of this? Fear will cause you to become distracted. You won't know what direction to turn. It'll cause you to become bewildered. You're just kind of confused. Shaking over in the corner, just, ooh. Fear will cause you to have so much misery. You will become so distressed. You'll suffer. You'll suffer so badly, and the people around you will suffer. You'll get to where you'll be so full of fear that you won't even want to get out of bed, much less go to work. Your employees will have a fear of responsibility at work because of what fear does to them. They'll shut themselves out. You'll start to see things not getting done. You had a great employee, but all of a sudden fears came in. Excuse me. Fear will cause your sales team to not pick up the phone to make a cold call. Fear will make you become dizzy. It will confuse you. You'll become unsteady about yourself and the things around you. You'll have a constant state of danger, trouble. Fear will get to a point to where all you will do is cry and shake. You'll get to where you won't trust anybody. You'll distrust everybody. You'll have anger toward the ones who are trying to help you, because fear will make you think that they're out to harm you or to take something from you. But it's fear that's doing that. Fear is taking everything that you have. Fear will cause you to hate, and hate will cause you to be angered toward others. That's why fear will destroy you for all these reasons. Now, over here in the Bible, it says, over here in Psalms 27, the Lord is my light, my salvation. Whom shall I fear? My Lord is my strength, my life. Who shall I be afraid of? See, when you get your mind set and you figure out that whatever fear throws at you, and it's going to throw everything it can at you, it's going to make you have so many phobias that you'll have a fear of even breathing. It can happen. I mean, it's like, God bless my mother's soul. She has a fear of going through tunnels. Not necessarily bridges, because she can see, but tunnels. And we went to Canada one time, and we had to go through a tunnel to get into Canada from the U.S. And it about drove her crazy. She started hyperventilating. But she can ride on an airplane, but as long as the lights are on. I don't know about flying at nighttime, but she can once she's got the windows, she can see out. She ain't real keen on heights, but she'd rather take them to being somewhere in a tight place. It's like if she's riding in a vehicle with a lot of people in it. You know, that kind of gets to her also. See, when I was young, I'm going to share this story with you. When I was young, my father passed away, and it was the year 1965. And he had been fighting cancer for 3 years, and he passed away in the summer of '65. And at that year, I was 6.5. I would have been 7 in December. And he passed away during the night. And a gentleman came in and woke me up, and he's a good friend of the family, so I can't remember if his name was George White or Marlon White. They were brothers. And I can't remember which one it was that actually picked me up. But both of them are God-loving men. I tell you, they super great gentlemen. There, I think Marlon has gone on. God bless you, and I believe George has too. God bless both of them. But what happened that night was they were there, and he came in and he woke me up out of my bed, and he said, "Billy, come on, you got to go and say goodbye to your daddy." Well, my dad had, like I say, been fighting cancer for 3 years, and it was melanoma. And so they had brought him to the house, and he didn't make it and survived the night. And so, but it had been going on for several times, and he had left us for a while to go to hospitals to be treated, have surgeries, and this night he was gone. He wouldn't come back. But to me, I was confused. I go, but Daddy's left before. Why are we saying goodbye? Why is everybody crying so much tonight? And he said, "Well, your mother will tell you." So he carried me into the bedroom where my daddy was. My family was in there, and they was crying, and everybody was yelling, and just so distraught over what had happened. And so I was so confused, and I said, Mama, why is everybody crying like this? And so he gave me to her, and she said, son, your daddy's gone. I said, well, Mommy's right here. He said, no, he's gone. And what took place was, Daddy had passed away, and it all of a sudden started kind of hitting in that he wasn't coming back. And then as days went on, and they got the conversations going, and they said, yes, Bill passed away in his sleep. That's my daddy's name. And said that, and they all saw the conversations about him passing away in his sleep. Well, as a child, that affected me. I lost my dad, but then all of a sudden I became frightened that I would also die in my sleep. So that fear overwhelmed me. So every time I'd go to sleep, they'd say, Billy, come on, let's go to bed. And so my grandmother put me to sleep, or my sister, my mom. And so these were like days and maybe weeks later after my daddy had died and was gone, and after the funeral. And so I started having these nightmares. And every time I'd go close my eyes, I'd just be falling. I mean, I could feel my pajamas, flapping. And I was just falling, but I couldn't see nothing, total darkness. And this went on for a long period of time. My mom had took me to the doctor, and he said that he'll grow out of it, Gene. And we talked to the pastor, they prayed with me, and so they said, yeah, it's just the way that he's been affected because his daddy died during his sleep, so that's what Billy's thinking. And that took place and lasted for a while. One night, my grandmother was praying with me, put me to bed, praying with me in her prayer, and she said, I told her about it, and I said, I just keep having this dream, and she said, Billy, you got to look for the light. And I said, what light? There's total darkness there. There's nothing there. She goes, no. She goes, because she knew that she was always talking to me about Jesus and having faith, and she goes, if you'll have faith enough in Jesus, you'll see that light. But you got to look for it. So right there, she planted that seed in me. You see, she planted that seed in me. She planted that seed in me where fear had me. But she came in and planted that seed. Look for the light. So from then on, I started looking. At first, I didn't really see a light. Then all of a sudden, it's like I saw a flash. It's just like a little something way out there. It was like a little pin, not the head of a pin or the eye of a needle. It was the little pin, the little point on the pin. That's how small it seemed. And I could tell that my hands, even though I couldn't see my hands, it was all dark, but it would block it, and there it was. So it was like where I was falling. Over a period of time, the lights got stronger and stronger. They started coming. It took a while, but it started coming. I kept looking for them. And then eventually, it got to where everything was lit up. So that my fear of dying had been taken away, and my grandmother had planted that seed in me. But what she done, and this is something I want you to think about with fear, what she done, she sent me on a mission, an adventure. And through that, over the years, I have been able to when I am faced with something that I get fearful about a situation, even like when, back years ago when I was asked, once I got a promotion, was asked to talk to the people, the employees that I was going to be over, well then I had that, the fear came at me, and I had to get over that fear because I knew that fear couldn't hold me no more. I wasn't going to let fear control me, hold me down. It's kind of like what fear will do. It's kind of like trying to put a thumb on you. It's kind of like it's going to try to keep you so far down that you can't come back. And that's what happens to you with fear. But if you will reach down deep inside and keep your faith, and just like what I just read here in the Bible, the Lord is my light, my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Whom shall I be afraid of? The light was what I reached out for. That's what I went after. That was So then fear became the adventure. It was no longer me fearing, and like I say, for the longest time, I could see my pajamas flopping because I was falling. But then it got to where I didn't fall no more because it was all lit up. And that light, let me tell you this, that light was not like a flashlight, not like a ceiling light. It wasn't like the sun. It never made my eyes squinch. The light that I saw was so soft. The only way I can explain this may sound silly to some of y'all, but it was like the light was a feeling of love. And that's the only way I can explain it. It's like the light was a feeling of love. And that's when you are afraid of something, you've got to face it in a way that where you don't let it be something you're going to be afraid of. If you're going to go down and you want to talk to your boss about maybe getting a raise, don't have that fear of talking to them. But sit down and write down some things that you've done at the work, how you have came along at work, how you're growing at work, what you do at work, what you're willing to learn at work. Because a lot of times you can receive promotions by picking up stuff every day and learning things, and people may not even know that you know these, but they can turn around and you say, I know how to operate this piece of equipment. The other day I had a few people in there that worked with me. I was over them. I was a lead man over them, whatever it is. And then it's like, then as you approach that fear, you have some notes to fall back on. And so that way you have a greater chance of letting what you were fearing become an adventure to yourself. Kind of like my mother had the fear of the tunnels, but once we got through the tunnel, she noticed that fear, she didn't have to have that fear. There was something greater, but it was just that fear of being confined. Just like with me with sleeping. And it's like my mother had fear of me swimming, but I got through that fear. My stepfather taught me how to swim. And so there's so many things, and instead of us sitting back and being scared, afraid, oh, get away, I got to hide. Instead of doing that, let the fear become an adventure. Now, don't go out and try to do something. If somebody's trying to come at you and bring harm to you, and don't go out that way. What I'm saying is, face your fears, but face them in a way to where you're in charge, not fear. Have faith, believe that you can be stronger than fear. And by doing that, it doesn't matter what you go at work, your employees, about sales calls, whether you're wanting to start a new thing at work, or if you're looking to make a new investment, sit down, study about it, bring people in, talk it over, family, friends, co-workers, church groups, and then as you face those fears, you'll see that those fears aren't as big as what you thought they were. And you'll end up having your life, your business, everything about you will change. It's like I could stand here and tell you about the story I just told you. But how that, at being so young, I've been able to, when fear comes my way, I can look back and say, I was afraid at one time and had fear. But I became stronger than fear. Myself, I put my faith in God, and I get over my fears. I look for the light. I learned how to swim. I learned how to ride horses. Learned how to play sports. learn how to drive cars, big trucks, so on and so forth. And that's each time you go to do something new, you'll have a fear of failing. And you may fail. Do you know what makes a champion? A lot of people will say, well, a champion, or someone in sports, someone who plays basketball, someone who does real good at something that amazes people. A lot of times people will say, well, it's genetics, bred into them. But you know what? That's not the way it is. It's not at all. What makes a champion, him or her, what makes them become a champion, it's hard, disciplined work. Every time fear went to them, and well, I've done this, I don't think I need to do anymore, they kept going. Because fear is going to say, okay, you've done enough today, you know. Oh, okay, I better not overdo it. They would constantly be knocking fear back and pushing their bodies and pushing their minds and just constantly conditioning themselves to get through the fears. So like when they go to walk out on that field or on that court or jumping out of that airplane, they don't have that fear of failing. Now they may think, well, it could happen, but I am conditioned, I am trained, I am going to be stronger than my fear of losing. And you ever watch when they come out on the court or come out on the field, and the cheerleaders are so conditioned too that they don't have a fear about coming out there. But you know, if one of us was to come out there, even if I was walking on that field, let's say the field or a basketball court, here I come out there and all these people are out there in the stands, and here they got to perform what they are practicing. But if they weren't conditioned enough, then they would have a fear of walking out there. Because some people will be clapping and cheering, some people will be, ooh, yeah. So you'll have these mixed emotions, and those emotions will play on you. But they will become stronger by the conditioning that they go through. And so when you see them, when they come out, you'll start hearing that drum roll or the music play. Boom, 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 boom. And you'll start seeing them come out. You got that little jog going on. You don't see fear on them anywhere, do you? I don't see fear on them. They'll come out there, they're ready to play. Fear is gone. And that's the way you've got to be. You've got to condition yourself to make, when they come out on that field, that is an adventure. It's no longer a fear, it's became an adventure. They are knocking fear out of the way, and they are there, and they are ready to perform whatever duty they have to perform in that time that they have to perform. That is what makes champions. It's not having that fear no more. It's defeating fear and overcoming fear so where they can become a champion. And that's the same way in your personal life, with your family, your church group, school, work. It doesn't matter. Once you learn to condition yourself, then you'll have, you can say to fear, like I said, the faith of that mustard seed. You can say to fear, get out of my way. Because my faith says that I'm here to stay and not you. I think it goes more like mountain, move from here to there so I should pass. But either way, it's still, that is what you have to do. You have to become stronger than fear. And a lot of you may be at home saying, well, you can do it, I can't. No, it's that mindset that you got. By saying, I could, you couldn't. You can't Don't go around saying you can't do it, because I know you can. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you learned something today or tonight. I hope I was able to help you. Like I say, this was about fear. There's so many great speakers out there who do speak about fear and different ways of getting over fears. And there's many fears out there. But what I'm asking you to do is keep your faith, believe in God, condition yourself so where you start saying to yourself in that mirror, fear, you're no longer a part of my life. Because from now on, fear, you will be the adventure that I wait for. I will come in there and I'm going to triumph. It doesn't matter. You're not going to run my personal life. You're not going to run my relationship. You're not going to run my family. You're not going to destroy my home. You're not going to destroy my church. You're not going to destroy my work. You're not going to destroy my buddies at work. And even at play, you're not going to destroy me, fear. From now on, fear, I am the victor. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. God bless you all. Thank you.